If more than half of our nation's students are disengaged from school, the problem's not the kids, it's the kind of experience that we're creating for them. Most leaders respond to this crisis of disengagement by throwing more PD, more meetings, and more initiatives at the problem. But what if the real leverage isn't another program? It's you in the classroom, coaching in real time, building beacons of exemplary leadership and instruction on every team, and insisting that the campus is filled with joy. Today, my guest is Chad Weiden, a dear friend and incredible ruckus maker who turned around one of South Carolina's poorest performing schools and proved that every child can learn by building high expectations, joy-filled systems of growth in one of the most underserved communities in the state. I'm Danny Bauer. This is Better Leaders, Better Schools, the original ruckus cast for visionary school leaders who want to do school different, even within a traditional system, so that we create a campus experience worth showing up for. Thanks to ruckus makers just like you, this show ranks in the top 1% of all podcasts in the world. So once again, thanks for hitting play, and we'll be into the main content after a few messages from our show sponsors. Want to know how top schools create collaborative learning environments that actually work? ODP Business Solutions has equipped innovative educators for over 3 decades. Visit odpbusiness.com/education and let's make a ruckus together. That's odpbusiness.com/education. Strong school culture doesn't happen by accident. It's built through meaningful support and opportunities to grow. Frontline Education's 2026 K-12 Lens Report explores how districts are connecting professional growth to stronger staffing outcomes. Visit frontlineeducation.com/leaders to see the full report. That's frontlineeducation.com/leaders to see the full report. IXL takes the guesswork out of lesson planning for teachers. IXL's ready-made lesson plans are aligned to your textbooks and state standards, so teachers can turn to IXL for the exact content they need to help their students. You can get started today at ixl.com/leaders. That's ixl.com/leaders. All right, welcome back to the show, Chad. Like, here you are.
Here I am. It's so good to be back.
Yeah. And I mean, we go way back to University of Illinois.
That's right.
And
ILL.
Also, yeah, INI, and a lot of early education days back in Georgia. Like, wow.
That's right.
I remember seeing like Ben Harper, I think, with you. Do you remember? At one of those
Music Midtown.
Yeah. So
that was the best.
Right.
Incubus, Andre 3000, Big Boy. It's great.
Did you know I made pizza for Andre 3000 at the Mellow Mushroom?
No.
I
You
did.
didn't tell me that.
Yeah. Because I was working there.
Near Piedmont?
Well, I was in the Vinings back then.
Wow.
And because I was an early career teacher, right?
Yeah.
Rolling in the cash, decided to get a second job, and pizza was it. So I think the two most meaningful moments before Andre 3000, I used to sing in broken Spanish, just making up songs that made no sense, but they were the Spanish words I could remember.
Sounds like,
and that was because the dishwasher spoke only in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
And so we'd have these little conversations, but I also just wanted her to feel like a part of the team, and like,
that's right,
you're not just there to wash dishes. So I'd sing these stupid songs. She'd be dying laughing. My manager, he hated it. Right? And if you've been to Mellow Mushroom, they have open kitchens. It's not like you're in the back, right?
Yeah, no.
Just in the back. Everybody can see you, what you're doing, and I'm just having a blast singing these songs. And he told me basically to shut up or get fired. So I sing in a whisper.
I love it.
And then one day Andre 3000 walks in, I think he's like vegan or something. So we did a very special, no cheese, no meat sort of pizza. And we had him, he signed the pizza box. We hung it up.
No way. Did he come with his entourage or just him?
I do remember a few people with him, so I don't know how big. Like, what constitutes an entourage? Is that more than three? Does
Yeah,
that have to be over
five,
five?
4 or
Yeah, it
5.
wasn't. It wasn't more than five. I would have
Okay,
remembered that. So
that's incredible.
yeah.
Have you made it back to Mellow Mushroom in the past 5 years?
So our that's a great question. Second live event we hosted in Denver. I brought the team to a melon mushroom just to for a celebration. So yeah,
It's
but it was in
amazing.
Colorado, not down in Georgia.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right?
Yeah,
Dang, that is incredible.
yeah. And the
Good.
secret that makes their pizza so good, they butter the crust and add cheese to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
it's very southern. That's
It
like
is very simple.
that old racist lady. What was her name? Paula Dean or something like that.
That's right. From
So
Savannah.
my wife's from Zimbabwe. She's black, and she bought a ton of Paula Deen, like what do you even call it? Like plateware? What is it called? Like
Really?
plate?
Yes, like stemware, plateware.
Yeah, because she said something terrible, right? Like extremely
Yeah,
racist.
yeah,
And so then, like, I don't know if it was, let's just say Target, it probably
yeah.
was. It like slashed like 90% off. And so my wife was like, bam.
Let's go.
Yeah. Food tastes good, lots of butter, you know, inexpensive. I upgraded my kitchen. Thank
That's
you for
that's
being a racist.
hysterical. That's hysterical.
Yeah. So, lemons into lemon juice, I guess.
That's right.
Lemonade.
That's right. Get really good glassware. 90%
So,
off.
speaking of lemonade, here's your hibiscus tea. That's
Mm,
great.
right. Good for the heart.
Good for the
In a good
heart.
old
That's
mason
what you're
jar.
telling me. So,
Hibiscus tea supposedly good for the heart.
right on.
Yeah, man.
Um, yeah, and so I don't know. I saw a post on LinkedIn, and I think you were like celebrating something. And
Mm.
I'm such a great interviewer. Like I don't remember what you were celebrating, but I just remember seeing it, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy for Chad. It's
Thank
like
you.
it's been a minute,
Yeah.
and genuinely, the last time we spoke was one of my favorite conversations on the
No,
podcast.
thank
I've been
you.
doing it for
Well,
10
hey,
years,
right
right?
back at you, man. Well,
Yeah,
you're biased. I'm biased.
that's okay. I
We
think
like each other.
we're also smart though, so the bias
You're
like
very kind.
confirmed. Uh, but yeah. So I just wanted to like celebrate you a bit and just check
Thanks.
in. Like, how's school leadership going these days?
Thanks, man. That's a great question. I definitely was celebrating. I moved down to Charleston 8 years ago to take over and turn around one of the most underperforming elementary schools in the state of South Carolina.
Yeah.
Rumor and sort of the story goes, this wonderful elementary school that serves predominantly African American students that live in poverty was so low performing, underperforming that the state took it over and couldn't do anything with it and gave it back to the district.
Wow.
And
I've
so when I
never
got
heard of that.
right, so when I
Yeah.
got the call from a former superintendent in Chicago Public Schools and said, "Hey, come down and interview for this," that was not where I was expecting to go. I was expecting to be a area superintendent for Chicago Public Schools and manage 40 schools. But when I came down and saw the state of public education in South Carolina, specifically for our marginalized communities, our Black and Brown children, our children live in poverty, like blew my mind. And so, after getting my butt kicked by the team that interviewed me, I fell in love and just was so excited to start a school, excited to give a community that had been promised so many different things and no one came through a good and great school. And so we started Meeting Street Burns, pre-K through second grade, and a bunch of trailers behind a middle school. We called them learning cottages or cabanas when it got really hot. It was the most challenging year to start a school from scratch. And after year two, we moved into a brand new building. Pandemic happened. It's like we had to reset the whole school and start again. So it was like year three was sort of our year one. But after all that time of like just trying to take this school that was ranked unsatisfactory and each year grow kids at least 1.5 years of growth. And after a good 6 or 7 years, we finally got a good rating on the report card. And it
Mm,
was like just thrilling to show our communities and in Charleston County and in the state that every kid can learn.
mm.
Like every kid can learn. And they're like, it's proof. It's right down the road. A school that was taken over by the state is now ranked a good school.
Right.
That says
Right.
something. So
I love
let's
this.
celebrate.
Totally. I love to say that, students and staff, they'll meet your expectations, whether they're high or low. Right.
That's right. Yep.
And
The system is perfectly designed to get the results that it has.
exactly.
Yeah.
So good on you.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was such a joy. One of the greatest, I think my favorite principalship.
really?
Oh yeah.
Because of the turnaround story, or there's
Yeah.
other?
Yeah, turnaround story. And again, like I love creating order out of chaos. I think you and I've talked about this before.
Mm,
Like, give me a mess, and I just love it. Put systems in place, routines, build culture from the ground up, change hearts and minds. It's the best. But I mean, it was hard. It was hard. It was
right.
good hard though, really great hard. I just met some amazing people along the way, and were able to grow and develop incredible human beings to just be better than me. So it was a blast.
I'm sure that like installing a system to change things at that magnitude,
Mm-hmm.
um, it requires you to be responsive to what you're seeing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you reflect on like that system you've installed that has led to these results,
Mm-hmm.
can you like paint a picture, maybe top one, two, or three, like moves that you made that, okay, this we're getting progress because we did these things.
That's such a good question. I would want tons of think time, but I'm not going to think. I'm not going to answer what I think most people would answer, which
Yeah, please.
is right. Like I think most people would answer, get your culture right,
Yep.
know your kid routines and procedure culture right. That's all true, like 100% true. But I think everyone knows that. I think these are the things that surprised me the most that turned out to be true.
Mm,
And I think the one thing is that I learned in year 1 and 2 that I had to build a beacon of a teacher on each team. I needed on every single grade level team or every single team one beacon of what the bar should be.
okay.
Like I thought I would just go after everything
Hmm. Hmm.
and build everyone up and everyone's going to get great when really the first step is to build one great person on every team. So they set the standard because when you lead, they're really holding the expectations. They're showing
Right.
other people what it's like.
Right.
And I found that once I could build a beacon on every team, then I got two in the next year. And after
Mm,
those two, then there was three. And so like then I could actually go, now that's a high performing team, every single one of them. But
yeah.
I had to start with building a beacon on every team. And that system was very much transformative. Two, I would say, I think the system of embedded in that, how we got to that beacon, a system of real time coaching. Have you talked about real time coaching? I'm probably
I don't
chance.
know. I mean, there's probably a million names for it, but
Yeah.
just give us like what's your
Yeah.
definition?
In the moment, when
Yeah.
your teacher is teaching and there is an error that they make, intentional or non-intentional, you jump in and do something about it.
Oh, okay.
And so you are literally like, I was saying that like lead like the school is your classroom.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
every classroom is my classroom. And when I walk into every classroom, I'm going to co-teach with you, be it
Got.
for 10, 15, 20 minutes, be it for 5 minutes, but but intervening, really great athletes, really great musicians. When they're coached, they are stopped as soon as they made a mistake and they play it again. They practice it again. And that muscle memory that teachers that we have to get in the moment requires that sort of stopping, addressing it, modeling it, cognitive coaching just a little bit, and in a way that's really nuanced that you're not interrupting the flow of teaching and learning. That
Yeah.
that like just that's how we built really, really great teachers really quickly
Yeah.
is that system of real time coaching.
Hmm. You're right about like I can't talk about being a elite athlete, right? But in
Right?
terms of like
Yeah, come on. Yeah, you were high school, right?
no, but uh elite. In terms of like I was telling you, I was doing intro to improv, and
Yeah,
I'm really
yeah,
enjoying that experience. But our coach, he'll have us doing some new exercise or developing a scene,
yeah,
and we're novices and even experts, right? They're gonna
yeah.
do something dumb, mess something up, but he
Yes.
he stops you like in that moment, feedback, do it again,
Do
right?
it
And
again.
so it's amazing. And then on my end, the receiving end, it feels awesome because now I feel like even more competent or like, oh, my level of what's capable is now higher. My ceiling's higher, right?
Yes,
Um, but that's so abnormal in our industry.
it is.
So
Unfortunately.
like, how did you just start doing it? You know what I mean? Like, how did the teachers respond? Because
Yeah,
most of the ones that I'm around would like probably kind of freak out or
yeah,
usually, oh, my ego. Oh, now you're saying I'm no good and I gotta, crawl in the hole and die.
yeah. I mean, that's such a good question. And I'm really exploring that now in my current position. But for sure, it was different. Like we started a school, we named that as a norm.
Yeah.
We just named it as norm and we made it a part of adult culture. And so, like, if I was we would onboard teachers in new teacher boot camp, right? And I would be up presenting, like driving some practices, whatever it is. And I would have two of my leadership team members taking notes and giving me feedback.
Mm,
And
mm,
so, like, we would pause then and say, hey, I'm getting feedback right now to do this. I'm going to ask you and check for understanding what's the best way to go forward, to let them know that, like, this is not just you. This is a system that's in place for everyone. And so I'm getting lifetime coached while I'm teaching PD. You're going to get lifetime coached while you're teaching. And so
yeah.
it's just a habit. It's a state of mind. It's a mindset. It's what we believe. But to your point, like, yeah, I mean, I thought about it in Chicago. I started thinking about it like a lot because I heard about it,
Mm,
heard at certain schools and certain networks were experimenting with it. And I started to do it at Edgebrook, where I was at in the Northwest
mhm,
side,
mhm,
because I built a lot of trust and I was able to sort of jump in and talk with folks. But I think the framework around real time coaching is, there's the unpacking of vulnerability that needs to happen
mhm,
before you do it. That, like, one, it's okay to fail. Two, it's okay to not owe everything. Three, it's okay for help. And four, we're in this together. And so having that understanding before you jumped in was super helpful. But if not, to your point, there's nothing better when you get feedback that helps you feel more effective or more comfortable or confident what you're doing. Like your improv example, correct?
yeah, yeah.
Like when you jump in and you can give real time feedback, and all of a sudden the teacher looks back, goes, "Oh my gosh, they're all listening to me. They're listening to me." I'm like, "Yeah, they're listening to you. Yes, go!" Like
Yeah.
there's like that spark of confidence or empowerment, or just like, I'm doing a good job. I'm doing better. Like
Mm,
it becomes, what's the right word? You crave it. You start to
mm,
crave it. And so if you can get people to realize that, oh my gosh, you're going to get better. And actually, this is going to make your job easier, not tomorrow, not an autopsy of your lesson or a biopsy of your lesson, like right
mm,
now, I think
mhm,
people are like, okay, this is weird, but dang, that was helpful.
mhm.
Because oftentimes, like, I mean, remember teaching in Atlanta, like principal was like, hey, good to meet you. It's August. See you in May. Good luck.
I remember in Champaign signing my paperwork that I was an exemplary teacher, and I'm like, Principal so and so, you didn't come to my
You didn't
class once,
come.
not once.
Not
Now she
once.
knew, and I had a reputation, right? So she
Yeah.
wasn't wrong. But even as a high performing teacher, I want feedback to. We all got blind spots, and
Heck
even if
yeah.
I'm doing well, right,
Yeah.
I want to be doing even better. That's just who I am in my DNA.
Yeah.
But
There's this
yeah,
great article in the New Yorker called The Coach in the Operating Room. Have you heard of Atul Gawande? I think I'm saying
yeah,
that
we
right.
read the checklist
Yeah.
manifesto in the mastermind. So
So good. And so he wrote an article about, he hired a coach for when he was in the operating room.
right,
And after hiring this surgeon that he respected tremendously, it all boiled down. He watched him do this one particular surgery a couple times. And it all came down to, it was, I believe, his elbow needed to be lifted just a little bit more for the
mm,
incision to be more precise.
mm,
He would never have saw that.
mm.
Like, talk about the power of someone real time coaching.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've
Yeah.
used that article before very unsuccessfully to say this is why you need to join the mastermind because like
Yes.
LeBron has a coach, right? Beyonce has a voice coach, dance
That's right.
coach,
That's right.
Atul Gawande in the surgery room.
Yeah. It's everything.
So why not school leaders?
That's right.
It hasn't been convincing though. It's
Really?
well, but here's I don't know if it's I'd love to hear what you think.
Yeah.
I know there are certain absolutely budgetary constraints, right? So
Mhm.
that's going to be a pocket of people and those two that aren't thinking creatively, like there's money that exists elsewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe I could work it out. There's certainly people with big egos that think they're great and they're objectively not. And
Always.
then, yeah,
Always.
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 Yeah, and then I think there's some people, the ones that I had the pleasure to support, they're just super hungry. Like I wanted that principal to view me as a teacher. I wanted to get better. I think
Yeah.
they're actually already high performing leaders that just are still looking for a leadership edge because
Yeah.
they know if they get 1% better, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's a good thing for them.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. I've always tried to figure that out. Like, why? What's the roadblock, the obstacle? You know what the other thing is? I think
Ooh.
this is very, and it's a good. I'm glad we're unpacking this in a real way for the
Yeah.
listener,
Yeah.
because I think one of the big meta lessons actually is I think about this stuff all the time, but everybody else in the world doesn't because they have a life, right?
It's not.
Yeah. But
I
when
think
you're a
about it
school
too.
leader, you got your vision and all this kind of stuff. It
Yeah.
matters, but you know what I mean? People also
Yeah.
have real lives, and so they might not be as obsessed as you are. So I think
Yeah.
that's part of it too.
Yeah. Or maybe, I mean, like, or is it that just folks are not trained, taught to A, be super reflective, B, know that everyone can get better,
Yeah.
or just like give space to like what's working, what's not working. Like I'm constantly thinking what's working, what's not working, what's working, what's not working. And but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a skill. I don't know if it's a mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but like also maybe it's just the like unfortunate detriment of someone never getting coaching and
Mm,
realizing how powerful it is.
mm.
Like if you've never gotten it ever, 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 you may
Yeah.
be very skeptical
Right. Yeah. Like I am with hibiscus tea.
with the best kiss team.
But if you're drinking it, I'm now thinking it might be
Dude,
something
it's
I should
it's
try.
lovely. It just got a
It's love.
sweet little edge to it, just very slight,
Just
very
enough.
minimal,
Okay.
just enough.
S- So before we hit record, I was telling you about the improv stuff, and I know
Yeah,
you have a background in theater. I
yeah.
remember seeing some shows back in the day too.
Did
But
you?
yeah, you mentioned like, oh, every educator should have that experience. And why
Yes.
do you think that is?
I would make the argument that every teaching program should have their candidates take at least one theater class, improv class, because I find that I don't know any other profession where you are on stage 7 hours a day in
Yeah.
front of people watching you.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like your faults and your strengths are always like just amplified
Explosive.
on the walls. And so, like, you will not know what you're doing your first 3 years or like
Yeah.
whatever, 10 years. I still know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But like, there is a skill to improvising your way out of it so you can keep your kids engaged and focused. Right.
Mm, mm,
And so, like, I think just like I always approached it like a show, like that Mr. Weiden is taking on this persona my first couple of years. And like it just got me out of really precarious situations. The ability to have it like this exude this confidence, although I had none of it,
mm.
none of it. But I put on the show, I put on the act, I improvised, I could go back and forth with kids in a loving way. And I think it allowed me to get over the hump of running the culture in my room that I think other first year teachers really struggle with.
Hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah.
ODP Business Solutions, formerly Office Depot Business Solutions Division, has been a trusted partner for schools for 30 years. At ODP Business Solutions, we're by your side to meet your evolving education needs. Remember that feeling when you wanted to upgrade your learning spaces, but the budget said, maybe next year? Here's what most people don't know. ODP Business Solutions doesn't just offer competitive pricing, we give you access to negotiated cooperative contracts that maximize every dollar. Want proof? We helped the Baldwin School District transform their entire campus while staying under budget. How? By combining smart design with smarter purchasing. From essential supplies to cutting edge tech, from sustainable cleaning solutions to flexible furniture, we're your one stop shop to do school different. And the best part, you can get it all from a single supplier. That helps you simplify ordering and streamlining budgeting while staying compliant with easy access to cooperative contracts. However, you want to advance, ODP Business Solutions has 30 years of experience helping districts like yours get ahead. Visit odpbusiness.com/education to learn more. That's odpbusiness.com/education. Your school's culture shows up in the little moments, how supported people feel, how connected they are, and whether they believe they can grow. Frontline Education's 2026 K 12 Lens survey report found that retention, not just hiring, determines staffing stability. And districts with easier hiring are more likely to have professional growth that is structured and automated. Nearly half of districts that manage professional growth with software report easier hiring versus 30% that don't. If you're building a campus where great educators want to stay, download the full K 12 Lens report. You can get it at frontlineeducation.com/leaders. Get that full K 12 Lens report at frontlineeducation.com/leaders. What makes an assessment effective? I would argue giving teachers access to quick, reliable, and useful results that inform the next best steps for teaching. And that's where IXL really stands out. Teachers get powerful insights into student performance on a daily basis so they can address issues the moment they arise. Imagine that, adjusting instruction in real time before it's too late. Your teachers have a tool that helps them be even more effective. And your students, they grow and they grow. Check it out for yourself at ixl.com/leaders. That's ixl.com/leaders. Two main takeaways for me. I'm 4 weeks into a 6-week program, right? So like
Yeah.
baby improviser. But
Yeah.
I think in many ways, like I've been around humor, comedy,
Yeah.
theater, like kind of as a voyeur watching in,
Yeah.
even though I might
Totally.
not. So, but one of the big takeaways, how important it is for like the group to succeed. And one of the major ways for that to happen is to be totally all in on whatever you're doing, and not trying to necessarily stand out, to be the
Yeah.
funniest or to think, oh, that's not cool. So I'm gonna try to be cool over here while
Yeah.
everyone else is, pretending they're a dog barking,
Yep.
right? Running around on the floor.
Yep.
And if I don't do that, I actually look like an idiot and they look like an idiot.
Yeah. Because it's
But if
about the
I
group. It's
yeah,
not about you.
so that's been a huge takeaway. And then
What about yes and? Did they go through yes and?
yeah, yeah, and that one I read about, and I've
Yeah.
known this
Yeah.
concept for
Yeah.
decades,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But actually doing it and affirming that other person in the real time in a way that, like, helps them be successful and stuff, it was a there was a shift. There's a difference between reading and doing,
Yeah. Right.
right?
100%.
Yeah. And the other main takeaway I wanted to share, number 2, was, so I don't know if you know this about me, but I really got into meditation and mindfulness. So much
Nice.
so I did a 7-day silent retreat. I did a 2-year program where I can teach, right, mindfulness meditation.
No way.
I
Where
just
did you go for the retreat?
That was at Spirit Rock in California, Woodacre, California. Jack Cornfield, if you heard of him, he's
Yeah.
the one who founded that space.
Wow.
So Jack and Tara Brock were my teachers in
Dude,
online.
that's amazing.
It was pretty cool. I haven't. I'm still one belt below levitating, but I'm almost there. So
You'll get there.
I'll get there.
You'll
But
get there.
the other big epiphany was one of my classmates said
Oh,
during
cool.
improv, "Oh, I really struggle with meditation, but this is the most present and aware I've ever been." Right? That's what she said in improv.
Ooh.
Because if you're not paying attention to what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't
Yeah.
have a clue. So almost instantly, like I became a better listener
Yeah.
and just like more aware of what's going on in life because of
Yeah.
these classes.
I feel that way about teaching.
Mm, yeah.
Like it varies so similar, like improv and teaching, the betterment of the group,
Mm,
and like you just being so uber present and listening and picking up every single thing. Improv's a beautiful thing. When it's done well by people who really play by the rules and the boundaries, it's just an incredible thing to watch.
yeah. It's
I'm
been
so
great.
excited to be 4 weeks in. And what do you do after 6 weeks? Do you have like a showcase?
I thought the right answer is I give him my credit card so I could do the next 6 weeks, but
Yeah.
like literally on the first 10 minutes into the first class, I said, "Why did I wait this long? Like
Mm,
I feel this is everything I like to do, right?"
yeah, that's right.
And the funny thing is I do it all the time at home, just other people aren't here playing with me.
Yeah.
I'm making up skits. I sing these well, I already told you about
Yeah.
Mellow Mushroom. I that's what I do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's what I
Yeah.
do. All right. Did you ask me another question that I didn't answer? You said,
Silent meditation, you went for 7, and then where'd you get your certification for
oh, that,
mindfulness?
oh yeah, no, with Jack and Tara. It was an online mindfulness
Wow,
and meditation certification program.
that's so great. I
Yeah.
start it up again every day.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Really
You need,
important. It's
right.
really important.
Talk to me about back to like school turnaround and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you,
Yeah.
so you got this great grade now, and of course, like obviously student achievement and testing, and I'm sure like that kind of stuff is a part of that grade. but that's
Mhm,
not all school is, right?
mhm, mhm,
And I'm just curious, like, how you navigate that terrain, right? Because if
mm,
you get just too focused on those numbers and those scores and you kind of remove the humanity,
mhm.
like, yeah, it's complex.
Yeah, I think it's complex, and I think the way we went about it is the power of growth, and that it's when we go back to real-time coaching, when people feel that they're growing, getting better, it's just nothing feels great.
Mm,
Like if you like, I learned this today, and I like, look, I can show you I learned it. There's a pride, there's a sense of ownership, and there's a sense of identity forming. Like
mm,
so many times school and not feeling successful, kids equate being smart was not a part of their who they are and their essence. And so we really wrote this idea of growth,
mm,
and that it's okay for you to know what your goal is for the end of the year, in a way that's not punitive, in a way that's just meaningful, and that
mm,
everyone grows in various different ways. And some kids want to go 20, and some kids want to go 10. That we're all very different. We grow in different ways. But I think just the joy and celebration of growth was how we navigated that. And then just, I think that would be it. I mean, that's it. But then also doubling down on like no waste of time. Like a value at our school is like there's just no waste of time. You are learning every single aspect, every part of the day, and it needs to be fun and it needs to be joyous. And so we're gonna sing and we're gonna chant, and like has to be fun. Joy is really, really, really important to me. Joy in the school, joy in the classroom. We could do really hard things, but there has to be joy. Otherwise, it's just not sustainable. Does that make sense?
yes, I want to double click on it because I saw a Gallup poll
Mhm.
within the recent year. I talk about this all the time now,
Yeah.
but it said that 53% of students are like disengaged from school, right?
Hmm.
And I wrote a post about how I'm not surprised. So I stated that as an
Hmm.
objective fact, right? That's
Yeah.
research that's been done.
Yeah.
Like tons of, I mean, you could generalize it as like tens of thousands of kids, surveyed.
Yeah.
And I basically said the answer's clear or the problem's clear. Like schools aren't creating a can't miss experience, right?
Hmm.
Which I think taps into joy and fun.
Yeah.
Um, and with a shorter kind of post, you can't go into all the nuance.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
to me, the almost the irony was teachers who teach students to read closely and read between the lines and all this stuff.
Hmm.
Um, they basically said, "I'm not a performer," right? They said, I don't run a circus. I'm not in the Ringling Brothers." They
Hmm.
went to this like performative model of education,
Yeah.
and I looked back at the original post and I said, "Well, who said you need to be a clown?" Oh yeah, one said,
Yeah.
"I'm not a clown," right? And
Yeah.
I said, "Thank God you're not a clown, Chad,
Yeah.
because if you were a clown in a classroom and I
Would
walked
not
in,
be effective.
well, not only that, it would be absolutely terrifying. Can you
Yeah.
imagine bozos there with your
Well, just
children?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
all right, we gotta call
That'd be
the
scary.
police
That's
probably."
right. That's right.
But I was just like, how did all these teachers jump to that? All I'm saying
Mm,
is create an experience, joy, fun, can't miss, where
yeah.
students are seen, they're heard. I know who they are, they know me, and so they wanna be there, and
Yeah.
I wish I coulda maybe said it in a more elegant way, but I was just
No.
like, I was so surprised at, like, the vitriol, like, in the anger from the
Yeah.
educators, that responded. Who knows? Maybe half of them are bots. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that is it's an interesting point, because I think people get confused with this concept of joy. Joy isn't big. Joy, like it really isn't. Joy is in small moments.
Mm.
And for me, like I'm most joyous when I'm nerding out with a text with a kid. Like you're just nerding out in the academics, and they're nerding out hard with you and talking about genre. Like that's joy. And so like
Yeah, yeah.
to the teachers, like I'm not a clown, be like, agree, totally agree. Like, but joy's in those little moments where you are igniting passion in content or what you're learning, or like, oh, this is a pattern I've seen in algebra 1. Now I can see in geometry 2. Oh my God, isn't that great? Those joy is in little moments. It's not, to your point, performative. It's not,
Yeah, yeah,
because that performative, like that's exhausting and that takes a lot of work.
totally,
And you
and,
can't do it every moment, every day.
no, maybe
Mm,
some like a Ace Ventura personality could, but, like,
yeah.
that's not that's not the expectation for the normal
No,
average teacher, right? So,
no, agreed. That's why I think people like misinterpret what actual true joy is. Joy
yeah.
is small bursts.
And I could connect this to the real-time coaching because I think
Mhm.
what that triggered in some educators that read the post was I was saying, "You're not doing a good job, teachers," right? Or
That's right.
and you're not working hard, which is not
That's right.
true. I know people are working very hard, and most are doing the best they can with what they have.
Yeah.
But if they lack a leader like you that's willing to jump in and say, "Let's fix things right now. Let's get better,"
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
get to keep coasting, uh, and then I think one of the biggest lies in education is, "Well, I've done it for 30 years,
Mhm.
so, like, I think I know what I'm doing by now,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you could be like a 50-year-old, 8-year-old on the inside that, like, has no idea how to teach or
Yeah.
navigate your messy
Yeah.
emotions and whatever. Like, you're just,
Yeah.
like, not that evolved as a human.
Yeah. And like how painful for that person
Yeah,
after 30 years, someone's
yeah.
saying, try it this way. Heck
Ooh,
no. Like that's
yeah,
gotta be so hard.
that's really
It's
true.
unfair. It's so deeply unfair to that teacher.
Hmm,
No one invested and took time to really invest. So then now when someone invests, no way, man. No way.
right.
I've been doing it for 30 years. I know how to do this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have
No,
kids older than you, right?
that's
Jeez.
I've had that said to me many a time.
Yeah.
Many
Can
a time.
you what was your most colorful response?
I think I think that my favorite anecdote was my first year's principal, and he was the second month,
How old were
and
you, just for context, at the time?
30,
30?
31.
Yeah, little baby. Little baby
And
Chad is a principal.
I know. Oh man, I made so many mistakes. And someone from the district, Chicago Public School, like came out and asked for the principal, and I happened to be in the front office, and I said, "That's me. Nice to meet you." And he said, "No, little boy, go run back and get
Oh,
the real principal."
God.
And I said, "Sir, why don't you come back to my office and we can talk because I am the real principal."
Yeah.
It's
Jeez.
that it was just like, wow, it's incredible.
First
Put
year
on your big
tea
boy pants.
Yeah.
Put
First
on
year
your big boy.
teaching, I'm in,
Yeah.
East Cobb Middle School back in Georgia with
East
you. With
Cobb.
you.
Yeah.
You weren't in East Cobb, but we're in Georgia.
Yeah.
So, first year I go in the faculty lounge, and, I think it's, like, the art teacher. She's like, "Excuse me, can you show me your hall pass?" Like, you
Nice.
know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
thinking, "Alright, first of all, Georgia, your middle school kids look at" I had a beard, I'm pretty
I know.
sure,
I was
right?
just saying, I always had a beard.
Yeah.
What eighth grader has a beard?
Well, I do one more very quick anecdote. When I was in
Yeah.
Champaign coaching basketball, we
Yeah.
played a team in Rantoul where allegedly I didn't verify this,
Yeah.
but I don't want to because the story's too good. Allegedly, this kid who objectively I saw him dunk. He could dunk.
Okay.
He did have a beard. Okay. But I can't verify that he was driving to his middle school to go to class, right? So I was told that he drove to middle school, right? I knew we played
Dude,
this kid. We beat him in a last second crazy out of bounds play that I drew up, right?
really?
That faked him out, yeah. And we won on a last second layup. But
Yeah,
that
you
kid was a
did.
baller, man.
Really?
Yeah. The
You
only
loved you loved
o-
coaching in Champagne.
I
You
did,
loved it. I
and
remember you
the
talking
only
about
way
it
to
all the
beat a
time.
man playing in middle school, I found,
Yeah.
is you put 3 kids on him,
Yeah, that's right.
because a man who is still playing basketball in middle school, he's struggling. He has some
Yeah,
struggles, right?
that's right.
And
That's right.
so throwing a little more conflict at him, didn't know how to necessarily navigate it back then. So that was a winning strategy. Basically put the whole team on him, leaving the rest of the team open, but
Yeah.
he would not pass. So it worked.
Man, what do you call that strategy? Three on the
The
big
Bauer
three on the big
special.
man? Power
Yeah,
special.
yeah. You may have
I
heard
like
of
it.
it. Yeah,
The
it's
power special.
it's
I
gonna be
like that.
used in the NBA this year, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna use it when I talk about teaching. That's great.
If you do, I'll send you a check. I would love.
Okay, I will. I will.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think, what I kinda wanna end with, and this is a think time question, feel free to pause and
Okay.
think, but I'm just curious, like, what's a big thing you've changed your mind on regarding education or leadership?
Oh my gosh, Bauer, that's such a flipping good question.
It's another Bauer special for you.
I should have known that. Something I've changed my mind about, I would say, I don't know. I mean, there's so much. This is really throwing me for a loop. I would say, okay, I'm going to answer big, then I'll answer small. And I'm not answering specific. I'm going very broad. I think what I've changed my mind about is that the we as leaders, we as teachers, we as adults, we in this experience, this human experience, I think I really saw things as black and white. And I've changed my mind that I don't believe in black and white anymore, that I believe in the power of paradoxes.
Mm,
Is that like the actual essence of life, of leadership, of coaching, of teaching lives in paradox, where
mm,
two things are true at the same time, right? Like to truly, truly love a child is to hold that child to the highest expectation possible.
mm,
To not love a child is to lower the expectation,
mm,
right? So oftentimes teachers think, oh, I really love this kid. I'll just let them sleep on their desk because I know about their home lives. No, no, hold them to the highest standard. If you really love them, hold them to the highest standard. So like that's just one example, but I think I really lived in black and white. I think what I've deeply changed my mind about is I embrace the paradox of life in all aspects. I find that makes me a better leader. I find that makes me make better decisions. So I think I don't know if that's too broad, but that's where
yeah.
I'm landing.
No, you brought it concrete too, that example in the classroom, because there are a lot of kids that have tough experiences and,
Yeah.
yeah, educators will respond in different ways. So I think you give them another way to think about it, right? And you
Yeah.
brought the love component in too,
Yeah.
which is really at the core of what we do. So
That's right.
cool. Hey, I've enjoyed this. Did we
I
miss
think
anything? Anything you wanted to make sure that got into the conversation?
I want to know your answer to that. What have you changed your mind about?
Something that I've learned over the years, like, and I taught this a couple of years ago, so it's not too recent, but it is sort of a shift. But like looking for opportunities to fire yourself within the organization to sort of make it even better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you kind of talked about if I leave this school and I don't have these beacons, and then the powerful team, like the school might be great while you're there, and then you leave and there's nothing left, right? There was
Mm-hmm.
no system, no culture
Mm-hmm.
afterward,
Mm-hmm.
a playbook, so to speak.
That's
But
right.
one of the scariest things I did, within this business in this last 10-year journey is, the mastermind, I used to coach all those groups, and I no longer do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I fired myself, right? I empowered and coached and, had some people that are facilitating now. They were all former members, and they
Mm-hmm.
demonstrated some interest to support school leaders, and I thought, "Oh, shoot," I got this show, I go speak, like,
Yeah.
are people joining because of Danny, right? So that was kinda like
Yeah.
an ego thing, but then I was like, I'd actually rather have this fail, you know, if it's about me. If I remove myself and it doesn't work, I'd rather know that than, like, if I leave and empower the team and it continues,
Yeah.
oh, now it's actually about what we're doing. It's not anything to do about me.
Mm.
So that was a good, like, just sort of leadership lesson because, like,
Yeah.
you want the control, and so here's something that actually nobody knows, but stuff has started to be put into motion. So this is the first
Yeah.
time I'm saying this in public. I'm
Mm.
thinking about how to fire myself from this show.
Really?
Yeah. I've been doing it 10 years, and I know people still wanna hear from me because the
Yeah.
downloads and all that's there,
Yeah.
but my wondering is, how could I potentially build a team and support that team and make the show even better without me? Because that's what happened with the mastermind, right? Now I
Yeah.
had at the time, the biggest it was 6 coaches, and because of
Yeah.
life, now we have 4. But that's 4 to 6 different worldviews, perspectives, years of experience and education brought
Yeah.
to the table, influencing how we do things that wouldn't be there if it was just all get flowing through me, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the big aha is like the leader is the greatest opportunity and bottleneck in every organization. So I constantly keep thinking like, how do I get out of it? How
Yeah.
do I, yeah, not because I
Just
don't want to work,
yeah.
but yeah, how can I make it better without me involved?
That's you just said another paradox. To make your leadership better, you fire yourself sometimes.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah. It's
Is that
beautiful. I read an article about the power of firing yourself every year,
hmm,
metaphorically, emotionally. At the end of every year, what parts do you need to fire of yourself?
huh? How about that?
I'll find it and send it to you. It's brilliant.
Yeah, thanks. I'd like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's where I want to end. This is not a deep question, but
Okay.
if you could put a message on all school marquees around the world for a day, what kind of message would you want to put up there?
That's like a really hard question.
Oh, it is. Well, but
I mean,
Chad,
like,
I ask this like 5 times a day on the podcast.
Do you really? God, I want to let the list of like your top 5 favorite answers. My immediate answer was all kids can learn. But I think the real answer is like a rallying cry. We haven't even talked about this. Let kids do the work. Like there's so many times teachers hold the learning, hold the modeling, they're
Yeah.
talking, we just are so scared. Let kids do the work. Teachers talk for 5-10 minutes and then just give feedback. Let kids do the work. Kids are ready. Let them do the work. That's what I would have on Marquee. I know it's not sexy, I know it's not attractive, but I rallying cry. Let kids do the work, y'all.
Hey, Ruckus Maker, thanks again for pressing play. I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. And before you go, if today's show shifted something in your mind or sparked an idea about how you could do school different, then I think you'd be a great fit for what we call the Ruckus Maker Mastermind. The Mastermind's a private community of innovative school leaders who meet weekly to grow, reflect, and disrupt the status quo. You can create the campus experience your staff and students deserve. Applications are now open, and go to betterleadersbetterschools.com/apply to put your application in.